Every light on the dashboard decided to show up. A good friend of ours held a Ford GT event in Las Vegas. Decided that he needs to bring in some people to help run the event. So I got called, some friends got called. I didn't tell him that I had reconstructive surgery on my ankle about 2 weeks prior to that, and I wasn't going to be walking by that time. So I had the surgery. He calls me, asking if I'm good to go. I said, yeah. There's a little bit of a caveat there. I can't walk, but I'm happy to instruct and help with your people and move the show along. So I asked my father, I go, hey Dad, you like Vegas? Want to go to Vegas, race some cars, shoot some craps, have some fun? I didn't have to ask much more than that. Soon enough, we're on a plane, we're heading over. I'm in severe pain because I'm not supposed to have my leg below my heart for more than a certain amount of time. So I get off the airplane, I can barely walk. So I decided to get a little liquid courage in me. I crutch around for a while, probably for about 2.5 hours. Lay down in bed, realize my ankle's the size of a Pirelli tire. Next morning I wake up, I gotta go to the racetrack. I gotta rent a car. And I gotta rent a car I can use on a racetrack. That obviously is an automatic. So I go to the rental company. My dad's like, what are you doing? I go, I gotta rent a car. I'm not going to a racetrack without having my free track time. That'd be silly. The new Camaro just came out. So I rented a silver, boring V6, but it was rear-wheel drive, and it checked all the insurance boxes when I signed the papers. Somebody else you might know that wears sombrero at times said he'd have a car ready for me that was an automatic, and it happened to be a Porsche 911 automatic, and I was like, well, I kind of bring in my own. So the day before the event, we decided to give the car a little shakedown. We do some test laps, all 4 people in this flat out Spring Mountain, short course, learning the track, giving some test drives. And like, okay, that was fun. Now it's time for the skid pad. Take this car to the skid pad. We ran this thing sideways as far as the desert is long. Every light on the dashboard decided to show up over and over again. So we just keep disconnecting the battery, reconnecting the battery. This goes on for about an hour and a half. Take it back on track. Next morning, the event. I show up. I basically let anybody who wanted to drive a car that didn't want to take their expensive Ford GT out on the track. Hey, there's a V6 Camaro over there with keys in it, full of gas. Go have a good time. Sombrero Man takes it out for a little while, followed by a couple other people, followed by me. Throughout the event, this car got heavily abused. Did I mention it only had 8 miles on it when I picked it up? The event's wonderful. I'm jumping in and out of people's cars, instructing them, we're having a great time. Great dinners, great people, great fun. This was right before the prices went out of control. I mean, these cars were $150,000 cars all day long. So I mean, people were not afraid to drive them. People were not afraid to get them wet. People were actually thinking they're depreciating assets. Little do they know what was going to happen in the next handful of years. It was nice to see these cars ripping down the straightaways. People not afraid to kill the tires, not worried if they're original. I mean, that was a great event. I'm having a rough go with my leg. So I have to cut a little bit short. I go lay down for a little while. I wake up, again, little medical problem. I call my doctor. He's like, what's wrong? I go, it's turning a different color. What should I do? He goes, well, is it exceeding the cast? I go, no. He goes, you're fine. Just keep having a good time. I'm like, okay. He goes, you can't really hurt it. It is what it is. It's just pain. I'm like, I can handle that. That's no big deal. Let's just keep driving these cars. We finish off the event. The Camaro is 120 miles an hour all the way back to the rental car company. Filled it up with gas. It's making the worst noises I've ever heard. It has no tires, no brakes, every stability light, traction control light, brake lights on the car. Well, obviously it's low on pad, it's low on fluid. So the lights just keep coming. I turn it into the rental car company. Lady comes, meets me. It's squeaking on the way in. My dad's like, what are you going to do? I go, I'm just going to smile and hand him the keys. See what happens. I bought the insurance. Well, sure as shit. They take the keys, they shake my hand, they sign the piece of paper. We jump on the plane, we go home. I get a call 48 hours later from the rental car company. I see it. I saw a Las Vegas number, and I'm like, whoa. Sure enough, it's the rental car company, and I am got my tail between my legs. I'm about to take whatever they give me, and they go, sir, we're just going to conduct a survey to see if you enjoyed your time in our Camaro and if you had a great weekend in Las Vegas. I was like, thank you very much. I had a wonderful time. The car was great, and it was the best 515 miles I've ever put on a car.